dragging his sword around. I almost spit out my goddamn water. Jesus.
Too Human is the best game. It has the best shapes. It has the most polygons. It has the good combat.
Too Human is an overrated, overhyped piece of literal garbage. Play as Baldur, the biggest bitch in all of Norse mythology, as you struggle through 4 levels. 4!
Canadian game developers have a tendency of shooting themselves in the foot. Torn Banner Studios went from chivalry to mirage. Ubisoft Montreal pumps out yearly franchise installments packed with DLC and literally put the store on its own separate menu tab in this game. And BioWare effectively killed off Mass Effect. So believe me when I say Canada's own Silicon Knights were the biggest game developer fuck up in our nation's history. Short and sweet, the company made some really big names on older consoles. Unfortunately, they got into a legal dispute with the makers of Gears of War. Silicon Knights sued them over whatever stupid reason, and they lost. Turns out Silicon Knights copied a shit ton of Epic Games' own code, even leaving in programmer notes and mistakes. So Epic Games countersued. It probably looks something like this. Oh yeah, Too Human was stuck in development hell for nearly a decade, starting on the PS1 and ending up on the 360. Just after the lawsuit, this thing popped out like some bastard child of hate and war. You can't hate on Silicon Knights too much. They're only human. Too Human. Oh, good joke. I have a legal obligation to warn you that the contents of this video are disturbing. Mostly because they butchered fucking everything. Too Human takes place in a Norse mythology-themed science fantasy dystopia, where certain humans have been cybernetically modified to demigod status and are seen as gods. It's a concept fiesta! Think of all the stupid shit you can do with that.
Literally everything. Nothing was spared.
You play as Baldur, notable for being balder than the other gods and looking 90% like all the other human soldiers in the game. Like someone just took a random dude and scribbled crayon all over his face. Speaking of how myth gets converted into boring, gritty stuff, half the gods are gross as shit, and the other half are just people. Look at him, you can't be a god looking like a Curtis. But it's science fantasy, so Yggdrasil, the world tree, is a big tangle of glowy tubes that connect to cyberspace where you can meet the Norns, like the Fates in Greek myths, but instead of Norns, they're non-organic, rational nanosystems. I think I just had a nano-aneurysm. It's just dumb. I'm running around dystopia world with pistols and a fucking broadsword. It's like this game's trying to be like Devil May Cry, but without any of the charm.
It's a good day to die.
You always say that.
It always is.
Any of the charm. So this is a third-person action RPG loot fest. There's some classes. Well, none of these significantly improve the gameplay experience, so let's pick the balanced one. Now the gameplay. Oh yes, the gameplay. Scenario, you're approached by a strange man in a cloak and he makes you a deal. He says you won't be able to control your eyes, but in return he'll make your arms super hard to use and you'll just flail a lot whenever you do anything. Welcome to combat! In Too Human, they thought the camera control stick, you know, the right stick on most controllers for most of gaming history was so stupid. So they made it your attack button. Now in the first level, this is fine. You can hold the stick down and just plow through enemies, hit them in the air with a double tap up close, hold in the air for a combo, tap both sticks at the same time to do a slow but heavy hit. You know, have a low skill but decent time. Here's how it looks in the final level. Oh god! Now you can do more than that. From a distance, you can tap both sticks to make a projectile, use the guns that only have auto aim, so you have to awkwardly stop shooting completely and face the enemy you want to shoot and start shooting again, and it just feels like it's bad. And there's a mechanical spider that I forgot about for 75% of the game. Then there's the Ruiners. The enemies swarm you constantly, so there had to be some kind of area attack. Basically, you earn it by comboing enemies, so this becomes much harder in later stages when combat doesn't flow smoothly, but they also have the capacity to just win combat encounters instantly, so whatever. I get the feeling that that's what the programmers thought too. The player's power in relation to the game world decreases immensely after the first level, and you find that it turns from water to mud. And from mud to cement. Oh yeah, it's fairly simple to breeze through the first level, but after that you're gonna die a few times. And every time you die, you've gotta watch some angelic tart descend from the heavens and lift you up to Valhalla. The process of dying takes about 30 seconds. Then you'll spawn immediately back into the level, enemies at the exact health you left them at, and you can see the fucking Valkyrie disappear like that's her with my body. Are you kidding me?
Deep neural scan. Retrieve. Verify. Analyze. Cross-reference.
You can't just use a bunch of tech jargon and think it sounds good. Clear registry. Clean cache. Delete.
Also, quick side note here, why the fuck am I exploding to death for longer than the time it takes to explode once? Yeah, exploding is a status ailment along with poison, which are both apparently incurable with any item in my current skill setup, so I guess I just die. I guess I just get to watch Baldur die fighting cancer while I await the sweet cleansing release of death. And yeah, death is a punishment. You do lose money or experience or whatever, I don't remember, but combat doesn't get reset, so you just keep hammering away with your dumbass head until the battle's over.
It's like they wanted a kid to play this, but they made it really adult.
Everyone, but I have not been with you, Thor. As if you would know what to do anyway.
Really adult. Really adult.
They disrupt the natural order of things.
The levels are so goddamn bad. New scenario, you're a kid in the year 2008 looking for the next epic gaming experience to sink your life into. Wrath of the Lich King? Nah. Fallout 3? Overrated. Grand Theft Auto 4? Another sequel? Too human? Oh, fuck, yes! It's 8 hours long. There are 4 stages. For emphasis, that's 2 hours each, give or take cutscenes, pauses, equipping items, exploring cyberspace sections, etc. I could eat a $60 meal and it wouldn't even come out of me in the time it takes to beat this game. I don't know what to say about the levels, except I remember sitting in awe, staring at the TV as the second level just kept going. Forever. See, they knew how short the game was and padded it with constant enemy spawns and cyberspace. Cyberspace is just a bunch of unused forest and mountain assets that they threw into miniature zones outside the normal zones. The idea is that Baldur will push open a door in cyberspace so it'll affect the real world's parallel door. The idea sounds good in theory, but it kind of feels like grafting a third arm onto a homeless kid and being like, hey, now you can beg more. The plot of Too Human is kind of limited because it was supposed to be a trilogy, and I mean, that lawsuit just amputated those dreams. Basically, Baldur's a god who goes out and does shit while the rest of them fuck around and feast all day. He goes up to veiny eyeglasses and he's like, let us take the fight to the enemy. And he's like, no, why would you do what our job is? Go back and feast, asshole. So Baldur goes and fights the enemy. Then Baldur starts remembering things because he had amnesia and remembers his wife, and he's all, where's my wife? And veiny eyeglasses says, I don't know. And Baldur beats the shit out of a god, and there's something about Loki in there. He's a masochist. You know, it's all very adult. But the point to take away is that Baldur got killed somewhat recently. He got resurrected by Loki's daughter, and now he's mad because nobody told him. What the fuck are you even mad about? Yeah, there's no doubt that when you love your wife and die and she goes insane and just starts absolutely adulting her wrists off camera and getting brought back forever and you have to put her down, you're gonna have a bad day. But I mean, it could have been worse. He could have been this guy. So the humans are fighting the giants, or Jotuns, or whatever, but who designed these? Look, the swarms are whatever. Not every class can deal with them well, especially these dark elves. Oh, but the big enemies are just stupid. You can't dodge their giant shockwave attack because it lasts longer than your roll, so you have to jump close, air dash to it, and attack the dodge, break the faceplate, then insta-kill it by holding the sticks in so you don't fall off. Like, it's not terrible. It's slow and dumb, and yeah, you can get peppered with enemy bullets during the cutscene, but they actually tried to make it skillful, so that's cool. But then there's these bow spiders, and when you get close, you just hit dodge. Just hit dodge, and you never get hit. What? Where'd that inspiration go? And no other enemy really has mechanics except the golem. The ghosts or whatever just drain your health at range, so you kill them. This mini-boss doesn't really let you melee hit him, so you just shoot him, invalidating the strengths of 4 out of 5 classes? Okay, that's Crew. That's Crew from Jak and Daxter, except it's called He Who Scrapes the Flesh from Bones. What the fuck? And that's just normal enemies. The bosses, what do you even say? You either shoot or slash, get hit a bunch, and fucking die, because the game's supposed to be played multiplayer. Yeah, 2 people had to be stupid and buy this in 2008 for a balanced experience. Okay, and it's never fun. The first boss is fine, whatever, but Hode here just dodges shots all the time, so you play slapsies for like 10 minutes. Like
Droopy-eyed, armless children.
Till he dies. All right, check this out. Wait for it. Wait for it. And there he is. And there he fucking is. In the middle of the cutscene. Really? By the way, Baldur goes out of his way to protect people who more or less don't give a shit about him. But he straight up brings normal humans into machine-infested war zones to die. They just keep spawning and all they do is die. It plays the death animation and everything. Why? I mean, why a lot of things? Like, why is there angel technology? But why? You know they're gonna die, you asshole. The AI is straight up unfinished. Aside from the part where they don't really do any damage, Thor, when he's following you around, just bugs out all the time. Thor, God of Thunder, more like God of fucking around. I swear this game just fucking drags. What doesn't help is the constant loot fest. Everything drops loot. Half of it sucks, and when you get something you can use, either you gotta delete your stuffed inventory or wait a few levels to equip it. Could this be a method to pad game time? Only time will tell. Not to mention, okay, how stupid all of it looks. Remember vanilla World of Warcraft? Different colored armor pieces looking like a series of cardboard boxes your kids painted. Look how stupid he looks. Jesus! I got stuck with a fucking stick for most of the end of the game because it was better than any of the swords I picked up. How are you gonna kill machines with a stick? They don't even give you all the loot. Okay, half the time, or if the armor's worth a damn, it's just a blueprint, so you gotta craft it. Except you only craft with money, right? Just give me the loot. Seriously? They couldn't even get the fun part of their game right. That's why loot exists, right? To give the player physical tokens of progression, not lock you behind a fucking paywall. Everything about this game sucks, except there's one little thing. It's not big or anything. If you look up the voice cast for this game, you might see something kind of weird. Oh my fucking god! Yeah, the voice actor for Baldur, Crispin actual fucking Freeman. What? You don't know any of these characters? Listen to this shit.
No one will care. Songs and stories will tell only of your treachery, Hode.
I still quote that line 10 years later. The dude just sounds, and that's just Baldur, right? Remember, veiny eyeglasses? Yeah, how about Osmond Sadler? You know, Resident Evil 4's major antagonist? How about, Thor and Dave Fennoy? You know, Vol'jin and Steve Bloom, who like, Jesus Christ. And that's only a few. The voice cast, it's insane. It probably cost the whole budget. That's why the game looks like this. And it's a goddamn shame, okay? Two Human was supposed to be a trilogy, but the game flopped and nothing ever came from it. The lawsuit ended the company, and given recent Kickstarters from the creator, I don't think that damage was curable. Eventually, all the copies of the game were recalled and burned, like a twisted bonfire of the vanities, but with shit.
You know killing him was completely necessary, right? You actually agreed with him.
Okay, I was proving a point.
What point? What point could you possibly have for killing him?
Hey, he walked in, okay, he argued, he gets shot. Like, get out of here! It's my show! Beat it!